that it's taking off, beginning to turn back natural a little bit. So, flowers that didn't bloom last year are blooming this year. They're understanding that what I'm doing. We did get some fruit off our fruit trees, and I have been trimming those the way they're supposed to be trimmed, so that it doesn't interfere with the plant, but allows the plant to be more productive. Same way with a kid. Kids are electronically plugged in right now. They need to be unplugged and thrown out the door and locked out of the house and go play. Go out there and figure out something. You get a combination of two things out of that. One, the kid gets exercise. And number two, they have to exercise their head in order to be inventive. They have to use their imaginations. These are the two bases for learning. So you end up with a bright kid instead of a dumb one. You end up with somebody who could be the inventor of a machine, somebody who works that machine. Real simple. You got more?
Well, I just wanted to comment. There's no other questions that I know of right now. I mean, there's some coming in. I'll ask them in just a moment. But it would seem important for people to understand natural remedies, which come from what everybody calls Indians. I'm killing intestinal worms out of one of my dogs right now, and the way I'm doing that is by adding ashes from the cigarettes I smoke and also tobacco from the cigarettes that I make to the food. And almost all the worms have quit appearing in the feces, so it's killing them out. And there are a lot of natural remedies out there that you can kill stuff and take care of things with. Baking soda and sugar cures cancer. That's been proven since 2007, more times than I could shake a stick at. Just put in 2 words, baking soda and cancer, in Google or whatever your search engine is, and you'll find a buffet of websites on how they've conquered cancer using that. So there's a lot of natural remedies out there that you can use and make use of. If you're on pills right now from the doctor, the only thing they are is pills to address the symptoms. They're not really to cure the disease. Now, when will Tesla's free energy be used, Drake?
I'm in the process of developing some of my own.
Okay.
Basically, these sciences have been around and been suppressed for quite a few years. If you've got a capability of an amplification system, which is simple, it's not difficult, anybody can put one together. You can take the differential between the air and Mother Earth and cause electric current. If you refine that a little bit, you can then amplify it and power maybe a house or whatever you might want to power off of it. It depends on how far you're willing to go with this. What you have to remember is that the technologies that have been repressed are going to be a part of the disclosure. This is a part of this freedom effort that's coming. The disclosure is going to be tremendous. Anybody who has or has had cancers are going to be treated in such a manner that they will no longer have it. And then there are other natural remedies that go on to adjust your system or allow your system to adjust to such a manner in which it cannot have cancers any longer. This is called remediation. There's a couple of techniques involved. One of those is chelation. A friend of mine has a website, Body Electrician, and if you go there, you'll find that the natural ingredients are readily available. And then if you want to go, a step further, you want to get into the other parts of this. You've got the FDA and other people arresting farmers for producing animals, for producing raw milk, for producing natural ingredients. We have a court system that has ruled that it is not, that man does not have a right to water, nor do we have a right to select the foods we eat. that we are no longer in charge. They are. So this boils back to the root of the problem again in terms of freedom. Every person should have the right to decide whether or not they want a grease burger or they would like to get into something that is not only good for you. I just told you I was making a pot of coffee. My coffee is medicinal. Now, people like a lot of people like to put cream and sugar in their coffee, and most of the people I know who do that don't need to do that to the coffee that I make. The reason is that I use plain old Folgers, but I add some things. One of the things that I recommend is ginger. You know, if you have 2 or 3 cups of coffee, you get that acid feeling in your stomach. The ginger takes care of that. Okay, the second part of it is whole ground cloves.
Okay, thanks for dropping off, Dave, so I think we should probably go ahead and wrap up the show. We lost him again, unless you want to try and call him back and get him back on.
I can't call him back because Deatra calls him and sets it up. Anyways,
okay,
folks, this show will be up in the archives within an hour and a half. And I want to thank everyone for being here today with the questions. We already posted a place.
Yeah, Dave, I want to answer one question, if I may, that
sure.
was, okay, Pete asked if Drake personally believes in ascension. Well, Drake is gone, so we can't ask him, but I will tell you, it's happening all around us right now, and ascension is not going to be the dramatic thing that everybody has chimed it up to be, but it's happening right now. You're seeing all the changes, and that's part of ascension, is changing from the old paradigm to the new. So please be aware that ascension is happening. Hello, Deidre.
Welcome back.
Hey, y'all. Apparently, y'all had an issue. You guys dropped or something. Let me go ahead and connect y'all through.
Yeah, just disconnected us.
I think we
that's
had
all.
a little help.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got Drake on the other line if you want me to connect him back in.
Please do.
Okay, here we go. Just hang on half a second here.
This is the fun. This is the fun of live radio.
Yeah, well, you guys are all connected again.
Drake, there's a question that I've addressed while we lost connection with you. But the question is, do you believe personally in ascension?
Well, 2 things to go into that, yes and no. Usually the word ascension is something that somebody partially or doesn't have very much understanding of. People view ascension similar to the rapture. You're going to be taken up and God's going to take you away and all this stuff. The part of the spirituality that I've found is that the ascension is not an ascension in the sense that people think of it. The ascension is to get yourself to a higher state of being. This makes the other ideologies fall under that of religious context. Now, to take that context out of it, I would suggest that you think of the difference between being fully wide awake and conscious of what's going on and having a daydream. You're still conscious, you're still wide awake, but you're in a dream state. And you may or may not notice what's going on around you, very simply. So, there is a process called meditation. This is a thinking process. And what you do is you take your head and run into a different area of being with your own head. You're still all there. You're still awake. You're still aware in terms of your consciousness. But the consciousness can also leave the body. You don't it's like a near-death experience, and it is it's something that does take some practice to do. People do a combination of usages of it to include remote viewing and all that, but ascension means to move to a higher existential being. In other words, instead of being confined to the 80 years we now have, we're looking at going back to the 800 or 900 years, as you can find in the Bible. If you want to take this all the way back, you will find that the 800 and 900 years should be 30 to 50,000, etc. It goes longer and longer. The higher the ascension you reach, the less you are encumbered with the physical limitations that you find in our present existence. We're at about a level 3. My understanding is that our planet is supposed to go through an ascension or change process where the whole of the planet, to include its population, plants, animals, etc., are to move into a higher state of being. This higher state of being is termed ascension. You are ascending or acquiring something greater than what you were. It's the same sort of difference between somebody that's a Cro-Magnon and somebody who is modern. The difference between what you've got there and what you have now. That sort of great leap is supposed to be our next step. So, yes, we're supposed to have an ascension. Supposedly, we're going to be going into a golden age, and at the same time ascending. Apparently, we get the cake, the icing, and get to eat the thing too. I mean, it's supposed to be all-inclusive, and everybody has a choice. You know, you want to be an angel, man, you know, and I can imagine something walking up to me and saying that. I'd probably freak out and say, ooh, cool, let's do it, you know. I think that my thinking, my thoughts, my feelings of it is that it's got to be real. I've had a lot of psychic experiences, and due to that, it's just something that goes along and fits with everything else that seems to be just as real. It's an experience. It's not necessarily something you can write down holding your hand, but then how does mom know when her kid falls off their bike a block away? How does that work? Okay, well, you can't explain that. And the reason you can't explain that is because it is not a physical holding your hand evidential type of thing. So if you ain't got evidence, it ain't real. And people can, you know, go that way. You know, that's fine. Believe or not, as you so choose. The thing is that the whole planet's going to go through this. So even those that don't believe are going to get a nice little plug into the wall socket and a little zap into a higher existence and say, what do you think, man? You want to be up here? You want to be back down there? Well, my butt quit hurting. I guess I like this better. Well, bingo. You know, a lot of the physical ills and all this other stuff are supposed to be taken out of it. So who knows? We'll wait and see.
I do have a question for you, though.
Okay.
What's the rest of your recipe for your coffee?
I saw that one in the chat room, too. I make 12 cups. I use a drip machine, 12 cups. Now I'm going to suggest something. The water that you use needs to be filtered. I don't care where you live, or I know of only one place where you're going to get quality water, and that's only one place in the United States. Okay, it's naturally occurring and it comes out of the ground that way. They have accused the person that took it to the county of providing them with distilled water. That'll give you an idea as to the purity. So, here we go. Coffee simple, 12-cup deal, using the good water. I put in 4 scoops, level scoops, of dark blend Folgers coffee. I flatten that out so that it's not heaped up. Flatten it out a little bit. I put enough ginger in there so that it sort of speckles it pretty thoroughly with a light yellowish color, which is what